Market manipulation refers to the artificial inflation or deflation of the price of a given security. Whether that be finance firms such as Citadel pounding a stock down like Brock Lesnar, or retail investors coming together and inflating a stock through getting a rocket ship ready. It's important to know that stock manipulation involves the literal intent to manipulate a financial entity or a financial security for personal gain. And that is exactly what we are seeing within NAKD stock. In today's day and age, we are so used to seeing large entities of influence literally inflating or deflating a security for personal gain. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, this is the topic at hand. This is what we're going to be talking about today and exposing the facts about market manipulation within NAKD and other given stocks. The first thing about insider trading that we're going to talk about is a term called churning. Now, for anyone who doesn't understand what churning is, it's when a trader both buys and sells orders at the same price. The intent with this is to try and churn up the sell volume. So this is how stock volume is being artificially manipulated to seem like there is more movement and more investors involved within a given security. This term is used in blatant market manipulation because the whole idea of this is for other retail investors to think that an entity or a stock is going to go up in value because there is so much hype surrounding a stock, because there are so many investors and there is some movement involved within a stock. However, there really isn't anything going on because it is a finance firm or someone manipulating the volume of a given security. The next term which I wanted to bring to the table is a term called painting the tape. This term refers to a group of traders creating activity to try and pump up a price of a given stocks or security. This is fraud, and it is also referred to as running/ramping. Now, this is mainly used for stocks which, they have a low market cap, a low float, so they're able to utilize that and actually pump the price of a given stock, and this is through a group of traders being able to cover the entire market and to be able to inflate a given price. So for all you rich investors out there, you may utilize a term which I would never ever suggest, called cornering the market. Now, this is referred to purchasing a lot of a given stock or entity and basically owning so many assets within a stock that you can dictate how much a price is. And that's through supply and demand. If you have so much supply, then there will be, you'll be able to create the demand through having all that supply, and you'll be able to be the market setter and monopolize the fact that you are the only person with that given supply. So you can then set the price for that stock. Something that is utilized within the market every single day, and something that is not talked about ever by the SEC really, is a term known as insider trading. Now, this is illegal, may I add. And what insider trading is, it's utilizing tools where people within a stock, so company directors, company, like anyone within the company who has that information, sells a given security or buys a certain security, or gives information out before it becomes public knowledge to a certain firm/investor before it actually comes out into fruition for the public to see. Now, this right here is artificially giving profit to someone because they will know something before it actually happens, and that gives an unfair advantage for the market maker and also as retail investors. However, none of these terms really correlate with what's going on within NAKD stock. The best term to use for the market manipulation we have been seeing within NAKD stock is a term called bear raiding. And this is the attempt to push down the stock price or by heavy selling/heavy manipulation at a given moment. And that is what we have been seeing, that constant pounding of a stock. And that is through a term called bear raiding. So, an example of a bear raid which I wanted to bring to all of you is the bear raid of October 1997 from Thailand to Wall Street, as titled, and I'm reading this directly off a screen. So one of the most famous bear raids on Wall Street occurred in October 1997, in which short sellers took advantage of the extreme turbulence rippling across the markets in Asia that ultimately greased the skids for a stunning minus 15% slide in the Dow Jones Industrials in spring 1997. Corporate treasurers and bank traders in Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia were rushing to convert their local securities and local currencies into the US dollar. The peso, ringgit, rupiah, and won were toppled like dominoes. Currency turmoil erupted. Foreign investors panicked in unison and withdrew money from all investors, which was good and bad for certain people, as the stock market generally is. When capital started to flow out of the region, monetary authorities raised interest rates to defend their currency pegs and in turn caused their local stock markets to collapse. On your screen now is an example of exactly what a bear raid looks like. So for a backstory, stocks like NAKD, AMC, GME, SNDL, CTRM, they are all victims of this term called bear raiding until the retail investors jumped in. In a typical bear raid, short sellers conspire beforehand to quickly establish large short positions in the target stock. Since the short interest in the stock increases the risk of a short squeeze that can inflict substantial losses for the shorts. And that's exactly what stemmed from the retail investors. That's where we came into it. We have basically made these bear raiders have to buy back these short positions, and we have put a lot of pressure and given companies like Citadel, companies like Melvin Capital, we have given those companies and the people involved in those companies some sleepless nights because we decided to jump in to their stocks and to stop their bear raids from happening. So something which I wanted to get onto now is the term naked shorting. Now, I did do a whole video explaining exactly what naked shorting is. However, for anyone who is new to the channel, I'm going to explain to you all what naked shorting is so you can follow along the next steps of this video. Naked shorting is the practice of selling short a stock or other tradable security without first borrowing the shares to sell or arranging to borrow them. I know that sounds complicated. That was a definition directly off Investopedia. Now let me put this in 8 terms, ooga booga terms, right? So you have market maker, you have hedgy. Market maker here sells hedgy X amount of shares. However, market maker here doesn't actually own the shares, and the stock and of the share of the security that he's lending out to hedgy actually doesn't exist because they've run out of stock. So they give hedgy these shorts that actually don't exist on the market and these shares, right? So what does hedgy do? So hedgy here has to pay the market maker X amount of money to be able to own these shares for X amount of time. Now he is borrowing these shares and he may only have these shares for a maximum of X amount of days, whatever the contract set is at. So for example, let's say there was a 3-day limit for hedgy here to deliver those short shares back to market maker here. Now hedgy here is really hoping that the price of the stock, so we'll say NAKD for example, goes down. So he can then give the market maker back his shares and he makes that amount of profit. However, if the stock price goes up in hedgy here, the short positions go down or go up, right? And he is going to be burnt out because the stock price hasn't come down. So he is actually at even more of a loss, and he then has to give market maker back the shares, and they are called failures to deliver. And that is something that has been utilized by these hedge funders for ever so long. That was until, of course, the DTC 005 and the NSCC 002 have been implemented. They are here to stop this sort of market manipulation. They are going to basically enhance the clearing agencies and ensure that the hedgee here has to give the market maker a lot more money and have a lot more collateral on the line to take out any short positions to synthetically bring down a stock price. And I know the NSCC doesn't really do anything for NAKD as such. However, for stocks like AMC and GME, it's all about the options trading and how hedge funders have been using call options to be able to drive the price down of a given stock/security. Now, I know this isn't anything massive, and I know that there is still manipulation going on. However, this is going to increase the amount of money which these hedge funders will be losing. When the stock price of NAKD goes up, these shares that they keep taking out and not providing the liquidity that is supposed to be set by the DTC 005, it's going to actually burn their pockets even more. And that is because they are still taking out these shares, and if the price of NAKD goes up within their set contract that they have currently on the line, then they are going to be burnt out even more, and they are going to keep losing money. And that is why we actually do not mind them doubling down, because in a sense they are burning their own funds. So what does this mean for NAKD stock, you may ask? Well, you can expect something like this to happen again and then some. I expect the price of NAKD to go through the roof. Honestly, when these hedge funders have run out of money and they are going to have to cover, they cannot keep doubling down the way they are with all of these rules being put into place, all the fines that are now being implemented and imposed on these hedge funders, and also these other branches that are currently manipulating these stocks. There is so many aspects that could see the squeeze happen at any given moment currently, and it's only going to keep stacking up in the ape's favor. All my opinion as well, not financial advice. I make these videos for entertainment purposes only, and I want to ensure you're all well aware of that fact. That's going to be it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. It really helps the channel out. And I hope you've all enjoyed this new style of video as well. It's completely different to what I'm used to. And I hope that it looks good for all of you, and it's something that you all can follow very easily. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching. And without further ado, take care. Have a great rest of your day.